Welcome to Talking Tuesdays on my group, which is my creative writing readers and all things creative group. But for my Dark Creations YouTube channel, I am going with a basic chat today, just on general horror, what sort of things you like, books-wise, film-wise, that sort of thing. And I want to discuss with people as you come into the group. Hopefully I'll be able to see you and see the chats. I'm going to load it up on my laptop as well. So hopefully I'll be able to read the chat log. I've been doing this on Facebook, obviously, but the problem with that is I've not been seeing anybody's chats come through on time or anything like that. So decided to move across to YouTube. It's one of them things where I enjoy chatting to my fans and friends about different subjects, and thought, why not? Horror for the first one. I know there's a lot of horror fans out there, and a lot of people that also write horror, a lot of metal bands, a lot of different things like that. So I'm hanging around and waiting for the moment to see who comes into the chat room. I know time differences can be difficult with it being sort of different countries and everything, but being in the UK, it's hard to try and get times when Americans and other people have got the right sort of time frame. I can see we've got one person in the room at the moment. Don't know who we've got, but hello. Drop me a message if you would like to say anything specific. Just like to know what sort of things people are into. Have you watched any good horror movies or read any horror books, that sort of thing? Let me know. Please drop me a comment, because at the moment this is obviously my first YouTube live and I don't know whether people are coming through, so please let me know. I'm just going to put a basic message in the chat room. Right, we've now got 23 people in the chat apparently. Can people start posting something, even if it's just a hello, to let me know that the chat logs are coming through? Like I've said, this is my first YouTube live, so I am literally just having a general chit chat. Horror is the main topic, but you can chat to me about anything you want. I am a horror author. And I'd like to know how everybody is. Where are you watching from? It's gone up to 40 people in the chat room now, so that's great. I can't see any comments as of yet, though. Aubrey, hello Aubrey, nice to meet you. I can see somebody on the chat room. And we've got David from the Maldives. Wow, welcome. What sort of things horror-wise are you guys into? Books, films, music? I've recently been watching a lot of Ghost Hunters and things like that. I don't know if anybody else watches things like that on YouTube. Two of my favourites, Kalani Ghost Hunter and Exploring with Josh. That's brilliant. He does all the exploring stuff and the ghost hunting stuff as well, and it's really good. He travels around the world. Well, they both do. But it's been great. Am I a writer? I am. I am an author of 9 books, but only 4 of those are horror novels. I have a trilogy and an independent one-off novel. I'm glad I put the chat room up on the laptop now so I can actually see what people are putting. Oh, the Conjuring movie scared you. Oh, bless. You had to hide behind the pillow. I don't think anything scares me anymore. I like psychological horror. I think it's got to the point where a lot of people just think horror now is like blood, guts, gore, and how many times can we churn out Texas Chainsaw, basically. Why is everyone on live insane? What do you mean? Do you mean insane as in bonkers insane, or insane as in cool? Don't quite know how to take that comment. Why don't I go to like real haunted places? Well, actually, I'm starting a new project at the moment. It's sort of secret, so I'm not giving too many details away, but there is something in the pipelines for that already. People will get more into that because I'm starting a Patreon page, so it'll all be on there. But I am disabled, so I'm also in a wheelchair. I can't go up and down mansion stairs, flights, that sort of thing, so it's difficult for me to pick haunted places that are accessible for me to be actually mobile, basically. But there's a lot of truth and realism in my books to actual real haunted places. One of the main focuses in my trilogy is the Manor Lodge. The book is called The Secret Manor, and what used to be a ruin. Now it's an actual real place, but it is not for people exploring anymore because it's no longer a ruin. It's being bought out and is now a magnificently posh, modern mansion. And I don't really like it anymore. I preferred it as a ruin. Right, what else have we got? What's the difference between Hitler and Usain Bolt? What a question. As if, do you know what I mean? Come on, I'll kick you out for that. That's just ridiculous. Yeah, we don't need jokes like that, cheers. Although I suppose Hitler fits in with horror, war. Some people find that horrific. Obviously, things like tragedy, car crashes, broken hearts. Some people see those sort of things of horror. What do you guys class as your definition of horror? What sort of horror stuff are you into? No sweating out there. I don't mind the dark humour, but, you know, as it's my first live, let me get to chatting with folk first before you throw humour like that at me. Tell you a story. Without writing you a novel, I can't really tell you a story. I don't do flash fiction or short in any way. My first book, my novella, is the first thing that I wrote. That is the shortest thing I've written. Never Too Old. Hi, hello there. David, you like ghosts or moving things on their own, so like poltergeist activity, that sort of thing? I like looking at it from all different aspects. I like the people that do ghost hunting. I like the people who debunk it and try and work out whether it's fake or hoaxed or a real reason, scientific reason for whatever. That sort of thing is good. Yeah, as far as stories go, in horror-wise, I can't give you a short story other than my life. Most of it has been horror. But no, I suggest if you want to read anything short of mine or you want a short story of mine, then it'd be the little novella. It's also the start to the trilogy. So if everybody says, what do I recommend? That is my most common question. And book one is the most popular out of the three. But I think that's just because the other two haven't caught up yet with buyers. What else have we got? Are your books on the market? Can you buy them from Amazon? Yes, you can. If you just put in my name, Jet Hipwell, they should all come up. There are 4 horror books. There are also 4 other books in there which I have also created and written. There is my colouring book of curiosities, which is an adult colouring book. Again, weird and wonderful pictures to colour, things like witchy stuff and aliens and all sort of different things like that. I've got a tarot book, which is a 10-step tarot course. I've also created my own deck for that now, but you can't buy the deck yet on Amazon. You have to buy that directly from me. I have a children's outdoor activity book, learning about the natural things of life, trees and animals and things like that. And I also have a poetry book, which is 30 years of poetry, all mixed up, just different poems. And I've just brought out Riddle Around, which is an adult game. It's book 1 in the series, and it's 110 rhyming riddles. So yeah, you can put my name, Jet Hipwell, into Amazon and you can find them all on there. Or there are links on my Facebook pages and my groups. If you wish, I can also post the links in the comments section at the end of the video. So if anybody wants to look at any of my stuff, you're more than welcome. Go straight to there. Which one is best in the horror part? Depends what sort of horror you like. Book 1, the novella, is very psychological. It's getting to know the characters, and there's a little smidgen of sort of witchcraft and occultism in there. Book 2 is primarily witchcraft, forces, ghosts, paranormal, that sort of thing, and force of nature. Book 3 is more along the lines of the witchcraft element, but all the way through it is directly murder mystery. It's all occult horror slash murder, maybe. Let's see what else we got. The paranormal things I watched are from Sam and Colby. I used to watch Sam and Colby. I don't watch them so much anymore. I know they've worked with the Midnight Channel guys and a couple of them, and I know there was a few others that were involved with them, and I know everybody like had personal arguments, and I kind of stopped following their YouTube once they started with all the drama, basically. Carl Williams, hello, nice to meet you. Where is everybody from that's in the chat room? We've already had somebody from the Maldives, I remember that. Book 2, what is the name? Book 2 is The Secret Manor. Now, book 1, if anybody's interested in book 1, but you don't necessarily want to buy the novella, I have done a visual audiobook version on my YouTube. You can watch it chapter by chapter, in which I read the story out, and there are still pictures made into like a scrolling video that go along with the storyline. So if you just wanted to listen to it and sit and listen to me read it, that is all on my YouTube. Just go to the playlists and click on Time to Die, which is obviously the first book, and it takes about 2 hours, an hour and a half maybe. Well, it takes about an hour and a half to read, so with the added pictures and stuff, and somewhere between an hour and a half, 2 hours. Can you make a series where you read all your books chapter by chapter? I've thought about this, and a couple of people have asked me, because they've said that the Time to Die series would make an excellent like film or TV series. I've had a look around, not a proper look around, but I've had a good look at things like different forms of advertising, and I don't directly know how to go about that without selling all the rights to my story. Because I'm self-published, I own obviously all the copyright and everything to my books. If I was to go and give my story to somebody else to adapt it, like Netflix or something like that, then they can essentially change it and do whatever they want with it, because you are selling the entire rights to it. So it kind of would no longer be my book. But yeah, I don't actually know how to go about that. If anybody out there knows how to find out in regards to getting series made, and I don't mean all the marketers, I get thrashed with them every day in regards to, do you want a trailer making $50? No. I let somebody try once. Well, I let quite a few people try with my first book, and not a single person actually got the idea of the book. So yeah, the trailers they were making were not the book concept at all. Wait, are you religious? That's always an odd question to me. I was born and raised Christian, and I was baptized Christian. My parents made me go to Sunday school and church and choir and all that sort of stuff. And I've just never got on with the concept of a regular idea of God. People ask me all the time why, and I just don't see the idea that, without getting too deep into religion, the idea of one person that controls everything and governs everybody's life. Why create babies with disease and let them die? Why make people like myself disabled and poorly and ill when done nothing wrong? Do you know what I mean? If you look at it, I suppose, from the Buddhist concept that it's because we were bad in a past life or whatever, why we're being punished for a past life. Makes no sense. I'm actually more in the way of Druidry and paganism. And yeah, earth, air, fire, water, sun, the moon, earth, everything we need to live, breathe, create, survive. That's my religion. The pentacle's not really for atheism. Atheism represents somebody that doesn't believe in any religion at all. Who have we got now? Random Ren. Reggae or dub, which is better? Dub. And I'll tell you why. Because dubstep can be mixed better with metal, and I'm a heavy metal fan. Do you know what the hexagon actually represents? The hexagon. Do you mean the pentagram? As in this? This is a pentacle, which is a pentagram inside of a circle. It actually represents something slightly different. But it's not a hexagon. It's a pentagon. It's a 5-pointed star. And yes, I know exactly what it represents. I've been around a long time, and I have always followed different paths of witchcraft throughout the years, I suppose. Things like I'm more inclined nowadays for herbalism and things like that. But I've done a lot of different sort of spellcraft work and taught a lot of people different things, divination, tarot, that sort of thing. Am I into Satanism? No, not. Satanism is a very, very different thing. I like the way this is supposed to be a horror chat and it's grilled me about religion. I don't mind though. I'm an open and honest book, and I will chat to you about anything. This is about you meeting me as a person, the person behind the books. In the witchcraft videos, I always see those types of pentagrams in a circle, though. Yeah, the pentagram in the circle, the pentacle as it stands, is a symbol of protection to, dare I say it, modern day Wiccans, pagans, druids. It's always been a symbol of not just that it's a symbol of growth. Obviously, you've got the 5 points representing, again, earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. The 5th link to the pentagram itself, locked within a circle, which is the protection, which is Mother Earth. It stands for a lot of different things to different cultures and different people. Smoke cigarettes. I've been told I shouldn't smoke on camera, which I haven't done as of yet. I've got a cigarette that's like gone out in my hand, but I've left it be. I've got my cup of tea and I'm happy with that. I've had quite a lot of people coming in and out today. What do people think on, again, subject of horror? It's supposed to be for tonight. What sort of horror things do you guys like? I still don't know where you're all from. I hope everything's been all right tonight as well, because this is the tester run for the Talking Tuesdays live videos. Obviously, my Dark Creations YouTube channel is horror-based, primarily. So any subjects that are talking-wise will be in regards to horror or occult or that sort of dark genre things. From Glasgow, Scotland, hello. Nice to meet you. So we've had from other end of the country to the Maldives, I think, is the furthest afar. What's my favourite horror film? That one is very, very simple. It's not directly based on horror, I suppose. If we're going down the straight horror route, then it's got to be a classic like Hellraiser or Original Freddy. But my all-time favourite film is The Craft. So that's witchcraft. There is a little bit of horror in it, depending on what you're scared of. But classics, again, Poltergeist, Carrie, that sort of thing. I love the old classics. For modern horror, I've not really seen anything that's directly gripped me in a while. Things like, I suppose you've got like the Res Evil stuff, Silent Hill. I'm a huge fan of Silent Hill from very beginning to end. Computer games and films. That is a big, if you're going on horror, what's my favourite horror then? That series is probably it. How long have I been making horror things? Different scales of different levels. As a writer, 5 years. As a designer, because I've done like art and design stuff. I've worked in tattoo shops, and I've done a lot of creative stuff. 10 years. The tarot and things like that go back to being a teenager, child really. Creating things like masks, costumes, that sort of stuff all my life. Halloween, I used to work on things all year round to be the perfect costume for Halloween. I always used to love dressing up, and still I put a video up on how to for you, which is a Halloween mask that I made on a budget, finding bits and bobs around the house that most people have knocking about, like half an old tube of super glue, some old half dried up nail varnish, some kids cheapo fake blood and stuff, and I show you how to mix it all and do that and put it together, and it made a really cool looking mask. What else have we got? Yeah, The Conjuring's a good film. I like the fact that a lot of people have done like ghost hunts and stuff in the Conjuring house, and obviously of the Warren Museum, they had the Conjuring mirror and things like that, and it's cool. I know, look, she looked like sweet grandma that bakes chocolate chip cookies. Really? Do I look that old? I am that old. But no, I don't know how you describe me. I usually describe myself as a hippie slash metalhead, really. But yeah, I suppose old crazy witch probably now. No, I'm not a grandma. I'm not even a mother. I haven't got children, unless you account for my fur baby dog. Oh, I want to know how old do you think I am, David? I have a feeling I'm going to be gutted here. Who else have we got in the room? We've got just over 10 people on the count where it shows me. I don't know how accurate these things on YouTube are. It shows me sort of how many people are in the room and things like that, but I don't know how well it works because I'm used to Facebook, and Facebook's just rubbish. "41, yeah, not far off. I'm 43. But why do you think I'd be a grandma at 43? I mean, my mum is 75, just turned, and she's a machine. She's got like 3 million jobs, 20 billion hobbies. Oh, fair enough. I don't mind looking like a little old grandma. That's weird though, because all my life I've looked younger than I am, and most people have said that I didn't sort of start to show my age until I hit 40. I didn't get ID'd until I hit 21. I hit puberty at like 13, really early. So by young teenager, I was like tallest in my class, grew more, did everything sports-wise and stuff, and then everybody sort of went zoom and grew, and I stayed 5'2". Everyone loves grandmas. Oh, it makes me think of Nan again and the My Boosh. Are you a My Boosh fan at all? Anybody out there? The Nan again episode could be classed as horror. Scary Nan again. 6 people on the live now. Cool. It has just actually clicked over to 6. It was on 11, I think, before, so a few people have clocked off. But yeah, as this was the tester, I didn't know whether many people had come and joined me or not. A lot of people who said they were going to come and join me haven't, so whether they'll come to the proper ones as it stands, I don't know. I hope so. I hope it builds, and I hope we can natter every week about random stuff. I don't know what the first official Talking Tuesday is going to be about. It's got to be horror or occult based. Any suggestions from the people that are still in the room? Amber, hello. Can you have a shout out? Go on then. What's your shout out? Okay, David, goodbye. Been lovely to meet you, darling, and thank you for joining. What was your shout out, Amber? Oh, bless you, Amber. Thank you. That's complete opposite. I've just been told, if you scroll up in the conversation a bit, that I look like a grandma. I don't know if that's my glasses. Normally I don't wear my glasses much. I look younger without my glasses on, but I need to read the chat log. Who else have we got? Fluffy, hello. Hello to you. Where's everybody from that's entering the room now? Amber, you have to go, but you love my hair. Thank you very much, darling. Looks like people are coming and going as time zones and things are different. I know 7 o'clock's hard for some people, so with children and stuff, being a tea time-ish sort of time, or putting the kids to bed, that sort of thing. It's still not really been a horror chat, though. I'm wondering whether if this should be a horror chat or whether it should just be a chat with the horror author. I've still not seen anybody post any ideas. Come on, guys. Give me some ideas. I might do next week's on haunted locations and places, seeing as how that's been brought up a few times tonight. We've got a few people left in the room. Who have we got left? And where are we from? Obviously, I'm Midlands, UK. I've had people from all around. I'm sorry if you can hear noises outside at the moment. There's a car sat directly outside my house. What sort of horror things have people been watching recently? I need to find new modern horror stuff to watch or to read that's good and not predictable. That's the worst thing about being a horror author, is you can literally work out the plot line to 90% of horror related things, whether that's reading or watching a film or listening to a story. Things become very predictable. That's another thing. It's hard to write horror and write new horror and not just like churn out a story that's already been written a million times. My favourite author, horror-wise, being James Herbert. I aspire to become the next James Herbert. Let's just hope I don't have to die before becoming a famous author. What do people think makes a successful author or director? Or is it creating the piece? Is it getting it on shelves and being sold to the public? Is it being super popular? What do people think are the different elements to that? I am a smoker. If anybody's got a problem with me smoking, please say so. I will put it out and put it down. Just I've been on live now for just over half an hour, so I was going to have while the room's died off a little bit as well. Who have we got left? Give me a shout and say hi. People have been very quiet tonight. I know on the Facebook lives there was so many people chatting and I couldn't see the messages, so all these questions that people usually want to ask me just disappear. For anybody that's just joining in or that hasn't seen the live as it's being done, there should be a replay of this posted, and you can go back and watch it at your leisure. Like I said, I'll also be putting the links down in the bottom of the comments section for the books that people have asked about, where you can find them, and so on. I'll give it a little bit more time to see if anybody comes into the room, because I think most people have had to go. Oh, we've got somebody just come into the room now. Hello. Who have we got and where are you from? Please write in the comments. Ask anything you like. We've been chatting about all sorts today. I have mentioned as well the Patreon that's going to be available soon when I've finished getting it up and running. That's going to be 3-tiered, so people can join either a free level, which is just like a bit like Facebook. It's views, posts, that sort of thing, discussions. Level 2 will be a sort of secret society club where you can get to know things early about what sort of things I'm working on that are coming up next in the future. There are currently 3 secret projects that I have going at the moment that are in the works, and they will obviously be discussed on that 2nd tier of the Patreon. The 3rd level tier of the Patreon will be for the die-hard occult horror fans, the people that I get asked so much when people read my books about how do I know all this witchcraft stuff, how do I know stuff about ghosts and this, that, and the other. I've researched and done this stuff for forever. And I always like to hear other people's side of the story, but I find that most common people ask me how, what, where, when, why, etc. So the 3rd level is going to be all about different occult stuff, religious stuff, witchcraft stuff, herbalism stuff, anything to do with the occult genre specifically. So depending on what sort of level you want to look at, I do not mind. I hope everybody finds it interesting, and I think at the moment, I think Facebook's just a dying trend. It's full of adverts and it's full of con artists and people. I'm seeing horror writers out there and horror filmmakers and trailer makers and all this, that, and the other, and it's all just AI rubbish. Nobody's actually put any thought or originality into anything, and I think that's what we need right now in the horror industry. We need some originality. There's no new monsters out there. There's no new ghost stories out there. Everything's past and famous. When people look at ghosts and they go ghost hunting and stuff, and they always try and get, like, they want to talk to Charles Manson, or they want to talk to, do you know what I mean? Where's the everything in between? That's what I don't get. If people are looking at it from a ghost hunting point of view, and you're, say, trying to talk to the Charles Manson, I've seen many documentaries, many ghost hunters have done it, How come they all just get to talk to Charles Manson? He wasn't even at the ranch half the time. The girls were, and the rest of the little group. So surely, if you were talking to people from the dead, from there, it'd be the rest of the group, would it not? Something to think about. Hello to the newcomer to the room. I mean, monster-wise for horror, I like classic vampires, like your Interview with the Vampire, Lost Boys, that sort of thing. Blade. I'm not a massive fan of. I've never seen and will not ever see or read Twilight. I'm sorry, I draw the line at magical, sparkly, fairy vampires is what they make me think of, but I just don't like that idea at all. Werewolves and stuff, I like that idea. Dog Soldiers is one of my favourite films. Ginger Snaps, the trilogy, I love all three of those films. I think they're probably two of the best werewolf films, apart from like American Werewolf in London. There's things like Underworld and stuff like that, and you've got things like your Van Helsings, but I think I'm definitely more of a classic horror person than a modern day horror person. I just want to look at the idea of people coming up with new creations, new horror, new concepts, new ideas. I mean, as far as I know, my books are all written 100% by me and my imagination. And I will not ever use AI to do so. So in that context, I have to come up with the new monsters and the new ghosts and the new things as a horror writer. And twisting concepts to bring stuff out new is hard. Now, for instance, everybody knows in America, obviously, the Salem witch trials and blah, blah, blah. In the UK, we have the Lancashire witch trials, Pendle witch trials, that sort of thing. And my next book, actually, that I'm writing it's a crossover. It's based on partly 17th century witch trials and modern day crossing over or coming together, if that makes sense. That's the most I've actually spoke about that book so far. It's going to be, again, very witchcrafty, very horror. And yeah, I'm halfway through it, but I stopped midway due to health concerns and so on, and I put out the Riddle game book in between, but I will get back onto that book fairly soon. That's gonna come back into play. Just trying to get the technological stuff sorted first before I start writing anymore. If we have anybody else who's been on the live today, or anybody who's watching it thereafter in the replay, if you are a horror creator or a designer or writer or anything of the sort on a dark themed element, whether it be just occult or horror or whatever, and you would like to join me on a Talking Tuesdays live, I'm more than happy to look at having a co-guest and chatting with the group and somebody alongside. I've been doing interviews. That's another thing that's on my YouTube channel, is a meeting of monstrous minds. Now, they're all different artists of horror genres, whether they be writers, musicians, tattoo artists, that sort of thing. And I'd like to bring a sort of more casual chat version. I did 2 halves to the interviews, which was questions and then a green room sort of chat level. And I found people much more responsive to the more chilled out chat-based stuff than they are direct questions. Although the direct questions were good, they give me some brilliant answers. So if you haven't already seen them, go check those videos out. I know the highest of all the interviews was Gospels of Odin, cracking metal band, Jay and his 2 sons, and they are absolutely brilliant. Go find them on either YouTube and iTunes, whatever you use at the time, Spotify and all that. You'll find them on there as well. Really cool. It is heavy metal, so if you're not into heavy, then perhaps not your cup of tea, but I really like it. And they do an awesome Christmas cover that they did for the Christmas just gone. It was brilliant. What else have I got to tell you? Let's see. There's gonna hopefully be, if I can get it done in time, a Halloween riddle game book. Now, if I can't get it finished for this Halloween, it'll be out for next, definitely. But it is the second riddle book that I'm producing, but it will be all Halloween themed. So that'll be like Halloween and horror, basically. Not got much else to tell you on the horror front. Now people have sort of disappeared and vanished. I've been on for nearly an hour now, and we've had a lot of people come and chat, and it's been great to meet you all, and I hope I've answered all your questions for you as they came in. It was brilliant to be able to actually see the comments coming through in the correct time. Talking Tuesdays, it will be hopefully every Tuesday. If not, it may be end up every other Tuesday, but we'll see how that goes. And I will be putting a poll up in regards to what people would like the next Talking Tuesday to be about. So if you've joined in tonight's chat, or you're watching it after and you'd like to join the next one, please answer that poll as to what you'd like to discuss or the next chat to be about. And I hope to see you all there. Thank you all for coming and joining me. I think I've got it all set up now, and hopefully we can continue on. Cheers, guys. It's been great. I will say good night for now. When I work out, that is how to end the live, because didn't actually think about that. Let's see. There we go. Good night, guys.